60% of people gave me the same answer of what they turn to outside of food, caffeine, and alcohol. The answer was nothing.
Was great. Let's dive a little bit deeper now. But before we get into the more technical aspects of what you're discussing, explain to me, could you start with, when you start working with people, you try to help them figure out their deeper why. Why does this mindset work matter so much to the success for an individual?
I think this circles back to what I had mentioned earlier, that when you recognize that we live in an environment that's so wildly stacked against us, you have to acknowledge that part of that is there's tremendous temptation around us. And, I think that the idea of navigating food and lifestyle today sounds like something very complicated. It's also very simple at its core, right? Stick to unprocessed food. Prepare most of your meals at home to avoid a lot of the slippery slopes that are involved in dining out, right? Recognize that for most people, convenience is king, right? So there's tremendous temptation to dine out, but we know that there are a lot of health liabilities, portions being one of them, sodium being one of them, industrialized oils being one of them.
Yeah.
The temptation, obviously, to consume lots of alcohol, desserts, things that maybe we wouldn't have at home. And so there are lots of ways that this can go wrong. It's really important to me to connect with a patient on what is it that's motivating them to stay within a certain framework. What are their reasons that have to be more important than junk food? Right? And so I think these reasons, for a lot of people, they're not even sure what those reasons are. And I make it pretty clear that these reasons can be really mundane. You guys would be surprised to know that, wanting to look better in a bikini over the summer can be tremendously motivating for people. So sometimes the reasons are really superficial. Sometimes it's, I want to look great at an upcoming wedding because my ex-wife is going to be there. Sometimes there's a lot more gravity to their why, right? I want to avoid a disease state. I have a horrible family history, or I've just been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and I don't want to continue to contribute to that with my current diet and lifestyle. But so I used to do this talk, and I still incorporate this into the program on how a 3x5 inch index card can change your life. And so I always ask people, take this card, and on the front of the card, I want you to list a half dozen or so reasons as to, why you want to improve your health, vitality, and well-being.
Right.
And on the back of the card, I want you to list a half dozen things that you can find genuine comfort in that have nothing to do with food. And I've recently expanded that idea, that have nothing to do with food, have nothing to do with caffeine, and have nothing to do with alcohol. So, my background is in also clinical trials. So I'm constantly conducting little freelance studies on my own. And a couple of years ago, I asked 100 people over the course of a month, tell me what you find genuine comfort in that has nothing to do with food, caffeine, or alcohol. And 60%, 60, gave me the same answer.
What's that?
This was absolutely shocking. Okay, so you give me, what's your best guess? What's your best guess?
Of what?
60% of people gave me the same answer of what they turn to outside of food, caffeine, and alcohol. The answer was nothing. They had nothing in their lives that they could turn to find comfort in outside of food, caffeine, or alcohol. That was their go-to. Those were those top three go-tos. It's remarkable when I have this conversation with people, how many people tell me, I don't have an answer for you. I really don't know what I turn to outside of those things. And so then our work pivots into, let's figure out what those things are. You have to know how to find comfort outside of food. And again, the nature of our environment makes it very easy for people to just take that, walk to the pantry or fridge or,
Yep.
whatever it is downstairs to a market in their building, and look for foods.